Okay, so as you guys have seen from my last video, the conformity gate with Stranger Things now proven false. Let's watch.
Well, well, well. Look what we have here. 8:30 p.m. on January 7th, the sacred date that was prophesied by the Conformity Gate enthusiasts as being the release date for the secret 9th episode of Stranger Things, the real finale. But bad news, sports fans. Still no pickles. Episode 9 is not here. Still seems to be misplaced. Perhaps they're scrambling to get it to us right now, or maybe this whole thing was a load of big fucking baloney. And in fact, if you check the Stranger Things Instagram account, the real Dirty Dan, they are even seemingly trying to squash it themselves. All episodes are now streaming, like they're all available. There is no episode 9, despite the multiple days of cope, people coming up with crazy evidence to suggest that there's a secret episode, and this is all part of the Duffer Brothers' genius scheme. It's Vecna's final ploy. But now, as the sun sets, reality begins to wash over Conformity Gate like a plague, where they have to come to the hard realization that the Duffer Brothers just kind of fumbled. That's about all she wrote there. Or all she didn't write when it comes to the Duffer Brothers, with all the fucking plot holes here for season 5. And it sucks. You know, it doesn't feel good. It's not like I wanted to say I told you so. Now, of course, I'm not above doing that. I'm 5'6". I'm barely above this desk right now. But, you know, I did tell you so, as did 98% of the people on this planet. But that 2% that really latched on to the titty here of Conformity Gate,
That was latching on.
it was a sizable movement. Like, thousands and thousands of people. It got big to the point where a lot of people genuinely did buy into it, thinking that there's really a legitimate possibility that there's a secret episode airing tonight. But that's just not in the cards. That was never on the table. Something similar happened with Sherlock, apparently, but I don't remember that. What I will say, though, is that some of the theories were very entertaining. So at the very least, I think some people at least were able to squeeze a little bit more joy and whimsy out of this whole Conformity Gate thing, in lieu of, like, a disappointing finale. And like I said, it's not even the worst finale in the world. It did what is oftentimes the most unforgivable sin, and it was mid. It was just okay at best and left a lot to be desired, which is oftentimes worse than just being outright fucking terrible. So a lot of people were trying to come up with an explanation that isn't just like, it's a little flat. And in doing so, I do think they cooked up some very interesting, thought-provoking ideas. Most of them, though, however, I do think were just really grasping at straws. It's coming out January 7th because if you look at this clock and then close your eyes and then fall asleep and then hit yourself in the head with a sledgehammer, you can start to connect the breadcrumbs that the Duffer Brothers have very intentionally, subtly laid for us to find. Oh, it's chef's kiss. It's great. Sheesh. Like, a lot of it had the same energy as people that think they found the winning lottery numbers in their fucking Lucky Charms cereal bowl. So, like, a lot of it wasn't great when it comes to evidence, but some of it I found to be at least compelling to some degree, but there was never any world where they were going to have a secret finale. That is conceptually a terrible idea, to intentionally have your series finale 10 years in the making be not amazing on purpose, so that way you can come back at a later date to surprise everyone with something of higher quality. That's just a fucking terrible idea, to tank the reputation for that long, and then even go on like a PR press tour getting spanked by every interviewer and every fan ever. Like basically a humiliation tour, only to then come around with a good episode. Like, that whole thing just doesn't make sense. So that was never going to happen. And I'm still pretty surprised that this whole Conformity Gate idea blew up to this level. So look at it in a more positive light, maybe to shine a little, like, you know, inspirational message on top of that. It shows what a community that's passionate about a project can do when they come together and set their mind to something. In this case, the idea that there's a secret episode. I think that's pretty cool, and ultimately it is harmless. The worst thing that happened is a lot of people got disappointed all over again because their hopes were up because they had watched so many theories and so many videos about it, and when it didn't happen, maybe they were a bit let down again, but it's not the worst thing in the world, because I imagine that journey was probably a really fun one to dive into. So, like I said, from the get-go, the whole Conformity Gate thing is a harmless, you know, movement that was there. though it is very silly that people genuinely bought into this as something that was going to happen, and like really grasping onto the most loose of nipples. Like last night during stream, I had so many people come into my chat telling me how wrong I was on my conformity gate take, because Vecna was on Jimmy Fallon and he scratched his head when Jimmy Fallon made a statement about Vecna's death, which is clear evidence that it's not over yet.
Brother,
that kind of thing.
The reach is crazy.
That was a little annoying in chat, I'll be honest. But again, it's coming from a place of passion, so you can't even really be mad at that or anything. It's just, maybe going forward, just set your expectations that it might be fun to dive into these fan theories, but it's probably not accurate if it like pertains to a secret finale or anything in that regard. That's just not going to happen in any product. It's just not. That being said, though, I think fan theories are sometimes significantly more interesting than the actual lore that the writers come up with.
This is the perfect example. The fan theories for Stranger Things were definitely 120, 50, 40, 60, 70,000% more interesting than the actual ending. The ending was just baloney.
Next example is Darth Jar Jar. I think that is the finest bit of fan theory ever cooked up. Also, Snowpiercer taking place in the Willy Wonka universe. I do love fan theories, and Stranger Things has a very interesting set of fan theories that, unfortunately, were kind of proven wrong throughout season 5. I'm talking outside of Conformity Gate, but I really do like diving into that kind of stuff for products and IPs that I really like. I think it's very interesting, and honestly, I would really like to see like writers kind of lean more on that. Like, they can see these fucking fan theories and shit. I would like if that like sparked some kind of inspiration in their noodle, like, well, maybe we use this in some way, or maybe we can flesh this out in some way, and that's a pretty good idea. Like, I think that'd be very cool. I don't see that happen super often, but it would be nice to see maybe occasionally for some of the more high quality fan theories. But now I'm getting off on like a side tangent here. Overall, Conformity Gate was a lot of fun to watch from an outside perspective without ever really believing in it. And while it didn't happen, it's not like I'm really celebrating it. I would love if there was a better ending to Stranger Things. It's just, I think it was pretty obvious from jump that wasn't going to happen. This was the series finale. Anyway, though, no need to yap about it any longer. That's about it. See ya.
See ya.